Anyway, enough of that. Let's talk about Everton, because it's been a massive few weeks for Everton Football Club. The fans got what they wanted. Rafa went, and I think he should never have been there in the first place, with the greatest of respect to him and his career. Frank Lampard has got the job, which, on any other day, that will be the headline, and we'll be talking about that. And then, last few minutes, Dele Alli to Everton on a free, but they will have to pay a lot of money later when he's played a certain amount of games. There's all sorts of add-ons, which I'm sure Alex Crook will tell us about as the afternoon goes on. But all of that rolled into one. What do you make of it, Dean?
It's... I really want to get down to the detail of that Dele Alli move, because I'm pretty sure his contract's until 2024. So what is it? Basically, just Levy's going, Antonio Conte wants you out that badly. I'm just letting you go. Just let's tear up the contract and that's it. Or I really love to know how that works and why it's... But clearly, Antonio Conte really, really wants certain players out, doesn't he?
Or he wants him off the wage bill with a view to something else happening before 11 o'clock tonight, maybe? I don't know.
Well, you can't rule out Levy late on in the window, can you?
You can't. Crystal Palace have been linked with Dele Alli. Southampton was one that was kind of quashed by Alex a little bit earlier as well. Alex has just tweeted in the last few minutes, he'll be with us shortly, but he just tweeted there are significant add-ons built into the Dele Alli deal that will take the final amount Everton pay well beyond the initial £10 million, but it's very much on. I think this can only be a good thing for Dele Alli, because no matter how many times he gets thrown into the Spurs 11, whether it's for Europa Conference League or whether it was for Carabao Cup, whatever, it just never seemed to happen. It looked like it was just a relationship that had ended and nobody could bear to say it to each other. Now Antonio Conte's got in there and he's just fronted up to him and said, look, it just isn't working. So you go somewhere else, re-energise yourself, because it's just not happening here for you. I hope he's been sympathetic with it, because Dele Alli, we know, is a good player. And hopefully, under Frank Lampard at Everton, it can work for him.
Yes, it's vitally important, I think, that he does move on for everybody. I think even the Tottenham fans would be happy for him to just move on and them concentrate on other players that can really bring something to the side, because he hasn't brought anywhere near the best Dele Alli that Tottenham have needed, and that's effectively mostly down to him. I'm sure it might have been some managers in the way that they've handled him, but effectively it's him that goes out on the pitch. It's him that can change things with his performance, and it just looks like he needs a totally fresh start. I hope that a change will do him good.
Frank Lampard, good appointment?
I think it is. I think if I look at the job that he did at Derby and the job that he did at Chelsea under a transfer embargo and the players that he helped to nurture through in that period and get Champions League football, I think you would have to say that if you watch Derby when he was managing them, they were fantastic to watch. Okay, they didn't eventually get into the Premier League, but they were great to watch in the way that they played. The young players that came there in Wilson and Mount were fantastic in the way that they integrated into his side. So if I'm an Everton fan, I'm thinking, well, I can look forward, hopefully, to a good style of football. And it was interesting because, obviously, I think it's split. I think some people think it's the right appointment. I think others think, well, he doesn't deserve it. How has he snuck in there? Maybe it's because of his playing career. Well, that's not his fault that he's had a great playing career, is it? That shouldn't be held against him. Yes, it's a positive, but I was looking deep into the way that Everton play right now, and I just think he cannot get it. He can't get it wrong if he really looks at the moment. And then it's very, very similar to the way Burnley play at the moment. If you look at the styles,
the way Everton play
at the moment is very similar in and out of possession to the way Burnley plays. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing in terms of, for Burnley, that's the way Sean Dyche has gone. It's the way they play, but so many people say they hate watching Burnley, hate the way they play, hate the way they set up and defend.
Everton fans won't have that, yeah.
Everton fans wouldn't want
him,
to.
Yeah.
No, exactly. But I'm not being too bad against Burnley and Sean Dyche, because that's the way he sees it and it's been very successful. But from Everton, that's how they're playing at the moment. If you look at the way they are with the ball, so passes per sequence, effectively how many passes they put together once they've got the ball, and build-up of attacks, so 10 plus passes that end either with a shot or a touch in the opponent's box, is similar to Burnley at the moment.
Right.
So they don't want to keep the ball. And when they do get it, they don't keep it well enough to even get to the box and have a shot.
Okay, so we'll get into more detail on this, but very quickly, are you saying that Frank Lampard going in, changing the style of play will instantly bring better results or a better way of playing at least from the players he's got there? Can they adapt straight away?
Both.
Okay.
Both. I don't think the players that they have at the moment were suited to the way Rafa wanted to play.
Frank Lampard to Everton, Dele Alli to Everton as well, 03717 22 33 44.